My Social Security payment arrived on the second Wednesday last month, same as always. The amount in my bank account was $41 lower than the month before. I checked my mail twice. Nothing in the box but the usual junk and a credit card offer. $41. On a fixed income, that is a cable bill. That is 2 tanks of gas in some states. It is not an amount you round off and forget. I did not forget it. I sat down at my kitchen table with my coffee and my tabbed ring binder, and I went looking. And what I found is that the Social Security Administration does not send you an explanation when your payment changes. They mail the new amount. They expect you to accept it. The offices that could explain it will not volunteer the form that fixes it because there is no money in teaching you the cheap answer. My name is Dale Corbin. I am 68 years old. I am not a lawyer, and I am not from the government. I live on the same check you do, and I have been reading every form Social Security mails me for the past 3 years, because otherwise I was going to lose ground I could not afford to lose. This is how to check, not legal or financial advice. What I want to walk you through today is 5 places I looked after my payment changed. Some of them took 5 minutes. One of them turned out to be the most important form relating to Social Security that most people watching this have never heard of. I will name every form number. I will tell you the exact website, and at every step I will tell you the honest limitation, because I am not here to promise you what nobody can promise. First, your My Social Security account at SSA.gov, your living statement, your absolute first stop. Second, understanding your COLA notice, the letter people throw away, and why your new amount might look right on paper and still be wrong in your bank. Third, Form SSA-44 and something called IRMAA, a hidden Medicare surcharge that quietly shrinks your Social Security check, and the appeal you can file if a one-time income event is the cause. Fourth, the benefit verification letter, one page you can generate yourself right now, and what to do when the number on it does not match your deposit. Fifth, calling SSA directly, the right number, the right day, the right time, and the exact words to say so you leave the call with a written answer and not just a verbal one. All of it is checkable. All of it is free. All of it lives on .gov pages. Number 1, your My Social Security account. The first place I looked was SSA.gov, the My Social Security online account. If you have not set one up, go to SSA.gov/myaccount. You will need a valid email address, your Social Security number, and a way to receive a verification code by phone or text. The setup takes about 15 minutes the first time, and it is worth every minute. Once you are logged in, look for the page called Your Benefits and Payments. It shows your current monthly benefit amount, the Medicare Part B and Part D premiums being deducted from that amount, and the net figure that actually lands in your bank account. This is where I found my $41 difference. My Medicare Part B premium had increased. The SSA had applied a new premium amount based on my income from 2 years before, and they had done it without sending me a plain English explanation. What nobody knew at the time, and what I had to dig to find, was that the Medicare premium calculation runs on a 2-year lag. Income from 2023 determines your 2025 Part B premium. If something unusual happened to your income 2 years back, a home sale, a large IRA distribution, an insurance settlement, the SSA may have recalculated your Medicare premium, and it shows up as a smaller Social Security deposit with no plain explanation attached. I mean, think about that for a second. The thing to look for on that benefits and payments screen, the line labeled Medicare deductions. Compare what it shows now to what it showed last month. If that number went up, you have your explanation. If your gross benefit amount went down with no Medicare change at all, that is a separate problem, and you want to write down the exact dollar difference before you call anyone. Also on that portal, your earnings record. Pull it up. If it shows years where your income was recorded incorrectly, that can affect your long-term benefit calculation. The SSA gives you the right to correct those records. The form is SSA 7008, Request 2. Correct earnings record, available at SSA.gov. You may qualify to file it if your earnings history shows a year that does not match your own W-2 records. The portal gives you the starting point, but it does not give you all the answers. Number 2, the COLA notice. Every December, the Social Security Administration mails a COLA notice, the Cost of Living Adjustment Notice, that shows your new benefit amount for the coming year. For 2026, the COLA was 2.5%. Verify the current figure at SSA.gov/COLA before you count on any number, because this changes annually and any figure I name today will be outdated next year. The notice shows your gross benefit, the Medicare deductions being applied, and your expected net payment. If you kept that letter, compare the new monthly amount line to what is actually depositing in your bank this month. If those two numbers do not match, you have a starting point for a phone call. Write both numbers down along with the date the letter was mailed before you do anything else. One thing people miss on the COLA notice, the Medicare Part B premium is listed as a separate deduction line. Your gross Social Security benefit might have gone up with the COLA adjustment, and your net check might still be smaller because the Medicare premium increase was larger than the COLA adjustment that year. In some years, the Medicare premium increase outpaces the COLA adjustment, and the math works against you. Understanding that distinction saves you a wasted phone call. If you did not receive a COLA notice or you cannot find it, you can get the same breakdown through your My Social Security account online. The mailed version goes to whatever address Social Security has on file. If you moved and did not update your address with SSA, you may have missed it. Update your address at SSA.gov or by calling 1-800-772-1213. That is not a typo, by the way. Your mailing address on file with SSA is separate from your bank records and separate from your other government accounts. Updating one does not update the others. Before I get to the biggest item on this list, if this kind of content has been useful to you, subscribe. I make these videos for people who want to understand the fine print. And if you have already dealt with the form I am about to name, drop it in the comments. I want to know how many people on this channel have already run into it. So, the COLA notice tells you what SSA planned to pay you. Your bank statement tells you what they actually paid. But what makes the gap between those two numbers look like a billing error when it is actually the system working exactly as designed, just quietly, against people who did not know what to ask? Form SSA-44. Number 3. Form SSA-44 and IRMAA. If you are enrolled in Medicare and your income is above a certain threshold, you pay a higher Medicare Part B premium. This is called IRMA, Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. For 2026, the standard Part B premium is $185 per month. If your income from 2024 was above $106,000 as a single filer, or above $212,000 for married filing jointly, you pay more. Verify the 2026 thresholds at Medicare.gov or SSA.gov/Medicare because these figures are updated annually and the numbers I named today will not be accurate forever. That additional amount, whatever it is in your specific situation, comes straight out of your Social Security check every month. The SSA bases it on your federal tax return from 2 years prior. They send a notice. If you missed it or if your income has since dropped because of retirement or a one-time event, you may be paying a surcharge that no longer reflects your current situation. You'd think someone would have flagged this kind of thing automatically. Nobody did. Form SSA-44, the Medicare Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount Life-Changing Event Form, lets you request a lower premium if your income has gone down due to a qualifying, life-changing event. The qualifying events are marriage, divorce, death of a spouse, work stoppage or reduction, loss of income-producing property, employer settlement payment, or receipt of an employer pension. If you retired in 2024 and your income dropped significantly, your IRMAA surcharge was calculated on your 2023 income, the year before you retired. SSA-44 lets you file the appeal using your current or expected income instead. You may qualify to have the surcharge reduced or removed. Here is exactly how to check. Download Form SSA-44 from SSA.gov/forms/SSA44.pdf. Read through the list of qualifying events on page 2. If one applies to your situation, complete the form and attach documentation of the life change event. A retirement letter from your employer. A benefit award letter showing when your employment ended. A signed statement about a property loss if it is specific and dated. Then either mail the completed form to your local SSA office or bring it in person. You can find your local office at secure.ssa.gov/icon/main.action. The phone script for this one, when you call 1-800-772-1213. I believe I am paying an IRMA surcharge on my Medicare premium. I had a qualifying life event, specifically my retirement in 2024, and I want to file Form SSA-44 to request an adjustment. Can you confirm the correct mailing address for my local office? If you are wondering how that is even legal, so is everyone else. A higher premium based on income from 2 years ago, calculated without a phone call, deducted silently from your Social Security check. That is the system as designed. SSA-44 is the mechanism built into that same system to correct it when your circumstances have legitimately changed. The honest limitation? You must have a qualifying life-changing event from the list in the form. If your income is simply lower this year because of inflation or fewer hours, with no named qualifying event, the form does not apply. But if it does apply, the annual dollar difference can be meaningful. Check it before you decide it does not concern you. Number 4, the Benefit Verification Letter. The Benefit Verification Letter is a document you can generate yourself at SSA.gov/myaccount right now for free. It is one page. It shows your current monthly benefit amount, your Medicare Part A and B status, and whether you receive SSI in addition to retirement Social Security. It carries an official SSA header and is accepted as income documentation by landlords, housing authorities, utility assistance programs, and some banks. Here is how it functions as a checking tool. The Benefit Verification Letter is pulled from SSA's current records the moment you generate it. If the amount on that letter does not match your bank deposit this month, you have a documented discrepancy in writing on an official document showing what the agency itself currently records as your benefit. That is the kind of number that ends hold time arguments quickly. Print it or save a PDF before you make any calls. Write the date of the discrepancy next to it. Write the exact amount deposited versus the exact amount the letter shows. Those two numbers, side by side, change the nature of your phone call. Without them, you are calling to say your check seems low. With them, you are calling to say, your own records show I should have received this amount, I received this other amount, and I need a written explanation of the difference. Generate the letter under Get a Benefit Verification Letter inside your My Social Security account. Number 5, calling SSA and the phone script. The SSA customer service line is 1-800-772-1213. Hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. local time. Up to this point, you have done everything on your own. You logged into your account, you compared your COLA notice, you looked into IRMA, you generated your benefit verification letter. Everything was in place. You just needed to know what all of that preparation was building toward. And it was building toward a phone call where you are not guessing. Because when you call, you have specific numbers and specific questions. That changes the entire conversation. The best time to call, based on SSA's own published guidance, is Wednesday through Friday in the morning. Monday and the days after federal holidays carry the heaviest call volume. Middle of the week, before noon, will typically get you through faster. Before you dial, have at hand your Social Security number, your date of birth, the phone number SSA has on file for you, your benefit verification letter, and the exact deposit amount you received this month versus what you expected. Here is the phone script. I received my Social Security deposit this month, and it differs from the amount shown on my benefit verification letter, which I generated this week at SSA.gov. I would like a written explanation of any changes to my benefit calculation in the past 90 days. Can you walk me through what changed and tell me the process for requesting that explanation in writing? Ask specifically for a written breakdown sent to your address of record. Ask what triggered any change. If they mention IRMAA, ask whether you may be eligible to file Form SSA-44. Write down the name of the representative, the date, and the time. SSA calls are logged on their end, but you need your own record for any follow-up. If the representative cannot identify the change or tells you no explanation is available, ask to speak with a technical expert or request a scheduled callback. That service is available within SSA, though it may take a few days. The honest limitation: calls can take time. On heavy days, hold times run long. Some issues require an in-person visit, but the phone call is always step one before you drive anywhere. It is documented on SSA's end, and it will often resolve the question without the trip. That is the 5. Your My Social Security account at SSA.gov/myaccount is your starting point. Log in, find your Medicare deductions line, and compare it to last month. Your COLA notice is your benchmark. If you kept it, use it. If you did not, your account history at SSA.gov has the same breakdown. Form SSA-44 is the Medicare surcharge appeal, available at ssa.gov/forms/SSA-44.pdf. If you retired, lost income, or had a qualifying life event and are now paying a premium based on income from 2 years ago, this form was designed for your situation. Your benefit verification letter is your documentation. Generate it at ssa.gov/myaccount and have it open before you call anyone. And 1-800-772-1213 with your documents in hand and a specific discrepancy to discuss is the call that gets you a written answer. The question worth asking? Do you know what changed, and did you check it against the official source before letting it ride another month? None of this is guaranteed. Whether SSA-44 reduces your premium depends on your income history and your specific qualifying event. Whether an earnings record correction changes your benefit depends on documentation you may or may not be able to locate. The SSA decides. You ask, you document, and you follow up in writing. But these are real forms, real.gov pages, real mechanisms inside the system. The office will not name any of them unless you name them first. Check your My Social Security account this week. Check it against SSA.gov, not a forwarded email, not a third-party website, not something someone mentioned at the dinner table. The official source is SSA.gov. If this helped, subscribe. I make these videos for the same reason I read the forms, because somebody has to, and I already did. Tell me in the comments which bill is hurting you most right now. I read every single one. Take care of yourself.
Before you go, everything I just walked you through, the form numbers, the offices, the exact words to say on the phone, I wrote all of it down. 3 plain English guides, organized by the form. They are at DaleCorbinBenefits.com or scan the code on your screen. I am not a lawyer and I am not from the government. These do not promise you anything. They show you how to check in about 10 minutes before you pay another bill you might not owe.